Fifth Amendment offers several powerful protections, including the right against self-incrimination, safeguarding individuals from being forced to testify against themselves, and a shield against double jeopardy, meaning you cannot be tried twice for the same offense. It also ensures due process, requiring fair treatment by the government whenever your life, liberty, or property is at stake, and guarantees that private property cannot be taken for public use without just compensation. Whether in high-profile court cases or everyday encounters with law enforcement, the Fifth Amendment's principles help maintain the balance between government authority and individual rights. And we're going to talk about it on episode 55 of Beyond the Noise.
Welcome to the sound, we're breaking through. The stories unfold, shining bright and true. Diving deep in thoughts, we'll take you higher. This is the movement, feel the burning fire. Let the voices rise in the echoing space. Join the celebration of every human face. Beyond the noise, we make our way. We make our way. Stories of courage, lighting up the way. This is our time, we're ready to play. On the Soar Network, we'll seize the day. From opinions that matter, we'll lift each frame. Reflect on the journey, yet we'll never be the same. In the heart of the noise, where the wisdom resides. Join us in the moment, where the spirit abides. We soar above it all, breaking every chain. Ignite the passion, let your heart sustain. Beyond the noise, we make our way. We make our way. Stories of courage, lighting up the way. This is our time, we're ready to play. On the Soar Network, we'll seize the day. Get ready, world, we're turning up the heat. Together we rise, can't accept defeat.
Welcome to Beyond the Noise, episode 55. I am Republic Sentinel, aka RS, and I am joined by my fabulous co-host and the producer of the show, Yankee Free. What's up, Yankee?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, chat. Welcome, everyone, to Beyond the Noise.
Yeah, episode 55 on the 5th. On the Fifth Amendment. Dude, we were talking about this in the green room. This amendment is just full of all kinds of craziness, man.
There are so many talking points and so many things to. I don't want to say argue, but there's so much discussion about this because there's so much. Most of the amendments so far, 1 through 4, have been pretty concise. They've been pretty focused and concise. This one is, there's a lot. There's so much to it.
Yeah, I don't know how we get to all of it. Especially, you start talking about what's eminent domain and stuff like that. It's going to be very, very interesting to get to. And the talking points are vast. What's up, Third Railify? Justin Henry, Jade Dragon, Evod, Liz, Greg, Ohio. We have the 3-letter agency in the house. All right.
He definitely wants to know what we know about the 5th, for sure.
Right? Yeah. What do you know about Double Jeopardy?
What do you really know about the 5th? What's up, Third Railify? And there's nothing wrong with our intro. It's an amazing song. Shut up and listen to it.
I love that song. I whistle that song all the time. I told him I whistle that song all the time. I like that tune. It's good stuff. But you know what? If you don't like the intro, just come back 3 minutes later.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's, you know what? We use that. That's valuable time for us to get prepared. And usually when we're coming in, we go, wait. It's coming to you. Coming in. Yes. It's funny. We're always in the middle of talking about stuff. So Lover Dose. All right.
What's up, Lover?
So what do? We start with, we should read the amendment, right? This long ass amendment.
This long amendment right here.
You want to read along, chat? Here we go. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces, or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Where do we start?
There is so much to unpack there. So much to unpack.
So, I mean, I immediately go to, didn't James Comey and Letitia James just get let off by a judge from a grand jury indictment? Did that not just happen? I think I might have just saw that coming into the show today. Why? I mean, so that would have like a direct, the Fifth Amendment would have a direct impact on that decision, would it not?
You'd think.
But I mean, when I was reading it, I couldn't figure out exactly why the judge let them go.
Well, I don't think why the judge let them go has anything to do with the Fifth Amendment. I think the judge let them go just for the status quo of our government and that no one is ever going to be held accountable for anything. I don't think we're covering all the amendments just so you all know your rights.
Yes.
And what rights are protected for you, but that doesn't mean that our politicians, they're not leaders. They're not even representatives at this point in time. Just the politicians that have the power, what they go by. They go by their own set of rules that don't apply to any of us.
Yes. That is correct. And they keep, so I'm trying to pull this up here. Federal judge dismisses case against Comey and Letitia James after finding U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan was unlawfully appointed to the role. Is that what's up, crazy dude with the
raid? Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Well,
thank you very much.
Isn't that a great way, Greg, to what kind of loophole is that? Is that that's not out of the Fifth Amendment? Dismiss the case without prejudice over Halligan's appointment, meaning the DOJ can try again when they get their act together. I conclude that all actions flowing from Miss Halligan's defective appointment, including securing and signing Miss James' indictment, constitute unlawful exercise of executive power and must be set aside. Oh, so I guess it wouldn't be the Fifth Amendment. That's this is all in regards to the president's power in the Constitution. Okay.
Thank you for dropping that link, Liz. For those of you that are in here that are not following Mr. Crazy Dude, please follow that link. Jump on back over there and give Crazy Dude a follow for sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good dude. We love Crazy Dude. So
he wouldn't be upstairs in my grill Zebo right now or anything, but we love him.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so why don't we start with grand jury requirement. The Fifth Amendment mandates that serious criminal charges, capital or infamous crimes, require indictment by a grand jury, safeguarding citizens from arbitrary prosecution. This protects against government overreach by ensuring community involvement before formal charges are filed. So does the Letitia and the Comey, would that fall under that? So it wasn't a grand jury. No.
It was just the judge that decided. So it wasn't a jury of your peers or a grand jury that decided it. It was the judge that decided it. I thought it was supposed to be a grand jury.
I thought that they were indicted already by a grand jury. What they're saying is that the prosecutor was unlawfully appointed to their role. And I don't understand the Justice Part argued that even if Halligan's appointment were invalid, the indictment should stand because they were approved by attorney Pam Bondi. Curie rejected that premise and described Bondi's attempt to ratify Halligan's actions as ineffective. Curie's decision focused on 28 U.S. Code Section 546, which allows interim attorneys to serve for 120 days, further providing that district courts may appoint a U.S. attorney to fill vacancies at the end of that time frame if the Senate has not already appointed a replacement. The Justice Department argued that the law did not confine the Attorney General to an initial 120 days for appointing prosecutors. Oh, so what? This prosecutor was appointed by Pam Bondi and it's illegitimate because she had not been confirmed by the Senate yet?
Who wasn't approved by the Senate yet? The prosecutor?
Pam Bondi. She approved the appointment. And it does say allows interim attorneys to serve for 120 days, further providing that the district courts may appoint a U.S. attorney to fill vacancies at the end of that time frame if the Senate has not already appointed a replacement. So Pam Bondi appointed this attorney. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah. I'm not getting the whole reason either, and I don't know how it applies to the Fifth.
She was not properly appointed to the attorney.
So maybe it doesn't apply to the Fifth, but still, there's a ton to unpack on the Fifth. You need to be indicted by a grand jury.
Yeah, and that's what I had thought initially had happened, but let me ask comment.
Justin, why are you lost? We're talking about the Fifth Amendment, and we're trying to see how one of these latest cases were involved.
Well, he was.
Roy Rat.
So James Comey, the former FBI director, was indicted by a federal grand jury in February on September 25th, 2025, on 2 counts, making a false statement to Congress and obstructing a congressional proceeding related to his testimony about the FBI's investigation into the 2016 Trump campaign. However, on November 24th, 2025, a federal judge dismissed the indictments against Comey, ruling that the acting prosecutor who secured the indictments was unlawfully appointed and therefore lacked the legal authority to bring charges. But a grand jury did charge him, but the charges were not dismissed. They can re-indict him.
So, okay, not to skip ahead.
Yes.
But that wouldn't fall under double jeopardy because he wasn't tried for it yet, correct?
Right. He was not tried and dismissed. The charges were dismissed on grounds of what would they call that? Procedural grounds, but it was without prejudice. So that means that they can re-indict him.
Right. So it does not. So bringing it to the topic of the Fifth, that would not fall under double jeopardy.
Right.
He was not tried. It was dismissed before the trial happened. He was indicted, but he never went to trial. He was never tried for that, so he still could be tried for it.
Yeah, for some weird. The dismissal was without prejudice, theoretically allowing the charges to be refiled, though this may be prevented by the statute of limitations. The statute of limitations was set to expire on sometime in September, late September. Justice Department indicated plans to appeal the judge's decision. Of course, they've got a lot of there's a lot of issues with the judicial system right now because there's a lot of, on both sides, political representation by judges, which is the judiciary is supposed to be unbiased.
And that has absolutely gone both ways.
100%.
Without a doubt.
They both do it, right and left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They go in, a Republican gets in there, puts a whole bunch of Republican cronies in there. Democrats get in there, do the same damn thing. Absolutely, and that's why you get all these crazy federal judges going back and forth with this one dismisses this, and then it gets brought up to a higher level with that says that it's re-indicted, whatever. It's ridiculous. Who knows what happens with this one? There's a 60-day grace period after the limitations because of the indictment. I still need to understand exactly what was wrong with the original prosecutor, and don't see how the same case could be brought back up on charges once it's no billed. If there were no, the only reason
that's what we're saying. It's not double jeopardy. They can be brought back up because it was never tried.
It was never tried. It wasn't dismissed because the charges were erroneous. It was dismissed because supposedly this person that was appointed to the position of attorney, I don't know, was outside of their 120-day period, but the Senate hasn't. This is why it might get overturned, because the Senate hasn't. They dragged their feet on fucking everything. I can't wait to get to that amendment. But the Senate drags their feet on everything, and if they haven't appointed anybody, there is a stipulation that person can continue to carry out their duties until the Senate does confirm an appointment. So we'll see if it gets. It doesn't really matter. I just want to see James Comey go through the trial. See if a jury will actually convict him if he was actually lying in front of Congress, which would be bizarre because there's so many people that have lied before Congress and never, ever been put away for it.
And that is exactly why. Status quo.
Yeah. It'll never.
No one's going to be held accountable for anything.
No, because once you do that, how many other people can you bring up on charges?
Mm-hmm.
They never seem to do that, do they? So many people have been caught lying to Congress. Okay, well, so there's the other thing. So double jeopardy. We just talked about a grand jury. We didn't get too far into it, but double jeopardy is the idea that you can't be tried for the same thing twice. If you get tried once and you are dismissed or declared innocent, they can't twist the words up and indict you again for the same charges.
Right.
Which is really good because a lot of times what we see with our law in this country, especially in regards to the Constitution, you and I have talked about this a ton of times, Yankee, that the lawyers always find another way to interpret it. Well, that depends on if you mean this with this and that with this and that with that. And then, you know what? In that case, I can indict you on blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Depends on what your meaning of is.
Exactly. Bill Clinton famously. That depends on what the definition of is. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's ever really been a case. That would be an interesting question. Has there ever been a case where double jeopardy came into question?
And what is that? If we talk about what jeopardy are they talking about? It's the jeopardy of your freedom, your ability to prosper and be free. That's the jeopardy of you losing your ability to be free and prosper.
Double jeopardy is a legal principle that protects an individual from being prosecuted or punished more than once for the same offense in criminal law. This protection is provided by the Double Jeopardy Clause of the Fifth Amendment, which states that no person shall, quote, be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, end quote. I love how they used to speak. They take something very simple that I would say like very, very rudimentary, and they make it sound all pretty and nice the way they use their words.
Life or limb.
Yes.
Life or limb. In jeopardy of losing life or limb. Yeah.
Be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy. In other words, you can't be prosecuted for the same thing twice.
Right.
They say it so nice. So it prohibits it. So, I mean, I guess if you get acquitted for a crime like this, I don't know. Can the state then? Does that apply to the state? So if federal charges get dismissed.
No, the state can still. I think that's federal. If I'm not mistaken.
Federal charges dismissed, the state can still prosecute for the same underlying conduct if it also violates state law due to the dual sovereignty doctrine. The Double Jeopardy Clause of the Fifth Amendment does not prohibit both federal and state governments from prosecuting a person for the same act because each is considered a separate sovereign. Wow. That's interesting. So you could get double fucked if you did something that's let's say in the state of Illinois that was also a federal charge, right? So yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's just like it's similar to like what we said about the First Amendment. The First Amendment protects you from the government, not from me. Like the government can't come after you for saying something that you're not supposed to say against the government.
Right.
But if you say something that I don't like, that doesn't mean that I can't come back at you. Like the First Amendment protects you against the government. The Fifth in Double Jeopardy protects you against the government trying you twice for the same thing. But that doesn't mean the state, if you did something that is a federal crime as well as a state crime, that the state couldn't charge you for the same thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that Roy Rat says so state and local charges, your locals can charge you with the same crime too, but that process works both ways for feds too. So you can get it's dismissal, acquittal, or conviction in federal court does not prevent state. So you could get convicted by the federal and get convicted by the state and serve two different terms for violating the law. That's wild. That would suck. You just get out of federal prison. Oh, nope. Time to go do your state stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, God. However, federal, and I knew this, that federal and state prosecutors coordinate. So a lot of times the terms run concurrent. So if you get 20 years by federal and 10 years from state or whatever, they'll run concurrent. If a Fed commits some kind of corruption crime and the Fed prosecutor pansies out, your local badass sheriff and prosecutor can charge them with things. I like it. Things. Well, the county district courts are under the state, although I haven't heard of a case of a town's municipal court going after someone in addition to in the county. No, well, like it says here, just federal and state prosecutors sometimes coordinate. Department of Justice policy may discourage dual prosecutions unless special circumstances exist, but this is policy, not a constitutional limitation. So that's cool because this all relates right back to the Fifth Amendment, what we were just talking about with double jeopardy. See, it's layered. It has layers.
Oh, it is so like a onion or a parfait, whichever way you want to look at it. It's got layers. The fifth, when I was, and now, honestly, to be honest, looking at this and knowing we were going to do the fifth, I looked deeper into it, and everyone always says I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth, and that's what everybody knows about it. But there's so much more to it. It's so deep. There's so many things encompassed in the fifth.
Yeah, it's way more than just what's the one thing that everybody always likes to point to?
The protection against self-incrimination. That's the everybody says I plead the fifth. That's
due process.
I'm not going. I don't have to incriminate myself. So like I've always looked at someone saying, not realizing how much more there was to the Fifth Amendment. I always looked at people go, I plead the fifth. Oh, well, they're guilty.
That was right. Yes.
Anyone who pleads the fifth is guilty. Period. Just because it says you don't have to incriminate yourself. You're not expected to testify or incriminate yourself. So pleading the fifth to me is basically saying, yeah, go ahead and prove it with somebody else but me.
Right.
I know what I did. I absolutely know what I did, but I'm not going to say what I did because I don't have to.
Well, a lot of times also people take the fifth when they were a part of it, but they're being asked to testify against somebody else. But they also could be incriminating themselves by saying it, so they have to take the fifth. You do not have to incriminate yourself, but some people do. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Exactly, lover. Exactly. But that's the thing. You're guilty of it. Anyone who pleads the fifth is guilty of something somewhere. And they're using the fifth because they don't have to incriminate themselves. It's basically saying, yeah, I know what I did. I totally know what I did. You go prove it. Because
it might also be because
I'm not going to give you.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm not giving you the evidence. I ain't saying shit. You go find out what it is from whoever you can find it out from. And if you can prove it then, great. But I ain't giving you anything.
Yeah, or somebody's got your family held hostage someplace, and it's like, yeah, I can't testify to that. I take the fifth. Yeah, now let my family go. You can't be compelled to testify.
Right.
I couldn't have murdered him. I was with a hooker.
But I also think that part of the Fifth, which most all amendments have been bastardized in some way, shape, or form. I also think all these people pleading the Fifth, that part of the Fifth has been bastardized. Like, I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just not going to say anything. I don't have to say anything. I don't want to say anything, so I'm not going to say anything. Which always says to me, guilt. It screams guilt. Because if you weren't guilty of anything, then you'd freaking talk.
Yes, but it is what Jade was kind of touching on it. But I mean, if you think about it, in this country, the law of the land is that you are presumed innocent.
You're proven guilty. Right.
Right. It is not the other way around, which a lot of people like to try.
Well, but that's why I was saying, like, I'm not going to tell you what I know because I don't have to. You go find it out.
Right.
You go find another way to prove me guilty because I'm not going to give you the information.
Right. Right. Certainly not voluntarily. You're gonna go and find out and then bring charges, buddy, and then we'll see if they'll stick.
Which screams guilt. If you don't have anything if you're not guilty of anything, why wouldn't you talk? But the second you say I plead the Fifth, I'm not going to tell you anything. You go find it out. That means there's something to find out.
I agree. Now there is an interesting. What's the old?
Rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's this theory out there. The theory that people are guilty of 5 crimes per day refers to the idea that due to the vast number of federal and state laws in the United States, many of which are broad, technical, or obscure, the average American unknowingly violates several laws daily. The most common version of this claim is that people commit 3 felonies a day, a phrase popularized by attorney Harvey Silverglate in his book of the same name. So it's like kind of like what you said with all of these laws, they've been bastardized so much that you unknowingly are guilty of something. It depends. They can twist the words and make you guilty of just about anything.
So it's better to say nothing. But
that's true.
You're still guilty of something. I don't know. I just feel every time I see anyone that says they plead the Fifth, I don't know, it just screams guilt to me of something. Because just like Lover said before, because what you may say about this one case may then implement you in this other case in something else that you could then be tried for. And you've already said that, so it implements you in that. So you're guilty of something somewhere.
And prosecutors know that.
Saying. Exactly.
Yeah, and they know it. So they're like going, oh, if I get you to say this one thing about this, well, that implies this. So, and we got you. Yeah, so that's interesting.
There's guilt somewhere. Anytime the Fifth is invoked, there's guilt for something somewhere.
Roy Rat, didn't OJ was found innocent of the crime, but didn't he get found guilty in civil court? I'm pretty sure he got found guilty in civil court, which is bizarre, right? He got found innocent in criminal court, but then got turned around and got sued, right?
Right, but that's two different courts. As two different courts, two different juries.
It is, but it's so bizarre that he would be. You would figure that would make you if you get found innocent in criminal court, you'd figure that would make you not prosecutable for that same crime, just in a different context.
No, but it would be civil, which wouldn't be federal. So the federal charges, he was found innocent, and the civil would not be federal. That would have been state level.
I think can't federal bring civil charges?
Roy Rat says civil court is a totally different standard of liability. Preponderance of evidence rather than beyond a shadow of doubt.
And federal government can and regularly does bring civil actions, not just criminal prosecutions, through the Department of Justice and various federal agencies. Civil charges are all like you getting sued, right? So that's where you're going to pay. You're not going to do time for civil charges. You're going to pay somebody.
Right.
Civil court is totally different. Yes. Okay, beyond I got you. Okay. Interesting. So that would not apply to double jeopardy then.
Right.
Wow. Boy, the layers.
The layers.
I'm telling you, there's
parfait. It's a parfait.
What was it? The donkey in
That's the parfait and the onion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In Shrek.
Yes, Shrek. That's it. Yep. Love that. So good.
Ogres are like onions. They have layers.
Yeah. Civil and criminal are their own ball games, or bail to Mexico. There's always that option. Yeah. Don't they extradite? I'm pretty sure they extradite. You guys see what the hell's going on? Not to change the subject at all, because we're on the Fifth Amendment tonight, but there's some craziness going on in Mexico right now. They're having like a revolution, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
What?
No, until you said Mexico, I thought you were going to talk about Venezuela, because I thought Venezuela would segue us right into the next talking point. But yeah, no, Mexico too. You're right. Mexico is definitely going through some shit right now.
Unbelievable. What are we talking about? Due process?
Yeah.
What's the next one? Government must respect legal rights and follow fair procedures when depriving anyone of life, liberty, or property. But this isn't Venezuela. That's war. Am I not right on that one? There has been no declaration of war, has there?
But just as they have been touting due process for expelling or getting rid of the illegals, and they scream due process. No, well, no, they're not. They're not citizens, so they're not subject to due process. Right. The due process is you're here illegally, you're a criminal, go bye-bye.
Yes.
They are also screaming because of the what they've been doing and putting the warships down there and completely annihilating these drug-running boats before they're anywhere near our shores. There's no due process in just blowing these boats up.
Right. That is absolutely correct.
So that's why the due process is very, very relevant right now. What is due process? Who is afforded that right of due process, being an American citizen? They're not American citizens. It's a slippery slope. Don't get me wrong. I hope you all know by now that I am right down the middle, and I will criticize the fuck out of anyone.
Sure.
And everything. I'm on the fence with what's going on with the Venezuela stuff. Do I want that stuff coming here? No, but if they're not, listen, you blow them up a mile offshore coming towards us. Okay, that's where they're headed. They're definitely headed here. For sure, they're headed here. Annihilate them? Sure. if they're off the coast of Venezuela, you know where they're going? I have a problem with it. I don't know. But where does due process fall in there? Like, and that's why I'm on the fence. We don't owe them due process, but is what we're doing right? It's a whole different argument.
Hey, listen, I'm in favor of sending guided missiles into Mexico against these drug cartels. Personally, I have no problem with that. Those people are evil bastards. Done some of the most. They not just traffic drugs. They traffic people for horrendous, horrible fucking things. So,
I get that, but. Who is it? Greg Ohio's in international waters.
So it would be an international court.
That's my problem. Why are we doing that before we know it's imminently? They are headed here without a doubt. If we have eyes on them there in international waters, we can track the bejesus out of them, and we'll know. We'll know when they're getting close, and we can then, no, you're getting way too close. You're done. Poof. Goodbye.
I think that kind of speaks to exactly, I think, what they're doing here. What they're doing is it's regime change. Come on. Like it's not regime change. Come on. They want to get Maduro out of there. And, right. And there's all kinds of, look, Maduro is no fucking saint by any stretch. Am I saying that it's right? No. But Maduro's a piece of garbage. I know we shouldn't be preoccupying ourselves with it, but I also feel like I would much rather be dealing, not that it's so tough, it's nuanced. I'm sick and tired of sending money and weapons to Israel and Ukraine. If we're going to do that, might as well go after the drug runners coming out of Venezuela. It's extending the U.S. military base's property lines along the border zone. It isn't just entering the U.S. illegally anymore. It's entering a military base. I love it because that makes it even worse. That's great. I'm sick and tired of having a porous border. Now, we don't really have much of a porous border now. A lot of that shit has been done away with. But what are the people talking about? 20 million people here that are here illegally, and most of them are getting federal subsidies. Get the fuck out. But that doesn't speak to what the fuck we're doing with Venezuela. I don't disagree with you. I figure, look, I don't have a vested interest in Ukraine. I don't have a vested interest in Israel, but we're sending them all kinds of money and weapons to fight their stupid little wars.
I agree. I agree with all of that. I'm just saying when they invoke the fifth in the respect of due process.
Right.
What is due process? Who has the right to due process by our Bill of Rights? As far as the deportation, I don't believe that due process has anything to do with that. You're here illegally. You don't have the right to due process. You just need to be removed because you are here. You're here falsely in the first place.
Yes.
You're a criminal and you came here illegally. You are not a U.S. citizen. You don't have the right to our due process.
That's just it. None of our laws should pertain to you if you're here illegally. None of them. Not one.
Right.
As a matter of fact, one of the things that should petrify someone from coming here illegally is now you're just a bitch and you can be treated like a bitch. And whatever anybody wants to do to you, you don't have any protections under the law. Maybe you shouldn't have come here illegally. No, right.
They haven't been treated as bitches. They've been treated as fucking royalty.
That's it. Like I don't know if you've been following Sargon of Akkad and everything that's going on with those guys. They're talking about the UK. It's like they're bringing in these foreign nationals that have no allegiance to the country. They're giving them thousands of dollars a month, free food, and by the way, they bitch about the food. They throw the food out and bitch and whine because it's not like their diet. Go fuck yourself. And they're getting put up in like 5-star hotels. They're being treated like royalty while all us plebs are getting treated like trash. And we are the cash. We are the ATM that is feeding these people. It's tyranny to me. But yeah, they definitely shouldn't be afforded the Fifth Amendment or anything else. Due process. You don't get due process. You don't get the right to speak. You don't get the right to anything. If you're protesting out on the streets and you're here illegally, you don't have the right to. It's like an enemy combatant, really. What's up? What?
For me, your due process is not being shot in the face. That's your due process.
If you're lucky. If you're lucky.
Right. Your due process is that we are literally paying for your plane ride home. That's your due process. That we're not just shooting you as you cross the border. Because anywhere else in the world, you cross a border illegally, you're probably not having your life.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Here, you cross the border illegally, you get to stay here for a little bit, make a little money, and then we pay for your plane ride the fuck home.
Right.
That's way more than due process.
It is. And on top of that, look, there is an argument, look, with all of the different things that Brett Weinstein and them have covered about what was going on down in Panama and the way these people were getting bussed up through here, that you could make the argument that it's an invading army. So we should treat you like you are an invading military personnel. So you'd be lucky if we don't hang you. Or put you away for a very, 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 very long time. Although that's more the people's ATM paying for their, and a lot of them will be housed and fed better. Yeah. We are the ATM to Ukraine, more than just Ukraine, Justin Henry, to the entire world. Hundreds of millions of dollars go to even the smallest little tiny nothing countries, man. Countries that I don't even know the name of, dude. You hear some country in the USA thing?
How many millions of dollars went to transgender education in Uganda or some shit like that? Like, what the fuck is that?
Where they don't even allow transgenders, right? They kill you if you're that in that country. That was the funny part. I think that Elon had brought that up.
I don't know if it was Uganda, but it was LGBTQ education in some obscure country that I believe
didn't
was
allow
a Muslim country that would not. They'd throw you off a fucking 10-story building in a heartbeat.
But what they were finding is that money was tagged as that, but being used for something else. And a lot of times it's being used to overthrow governments and shit like this, to finance opposing parties, to get them in there. Very, very wild stuff, man. U.S. aid, that's only the tip of the iceberg. Cozumel? No. I don't know, but I don't like how any of these due process my ass. You get nothing. It's hard enough for us to get due process in our own damn country, let alone someone that came here illegal. Enormous numbers of people that came here illegally. And you got to give them due process. I don't got to give them shit. It's hard enough for me to get due process. You better have yourself a lawyer that you pay thousands of freaking dollars to ensure that you get due process. It's all a scam, man. It's all a big money making scam for the lawyers. vital shield protection against self-incrimination and ensuring due process. Well, there's another thing that we're going to get to after the break. There's one other part of the Fifth Amendment that I cannot wait to hear what the chat's opinion and Yankee's opinion is on. There's another key point in that amendment that can actually get violated. But we'll get to that. It is the top of the hour. Time for our 5-minute break. Gotta have a teaser, right? Gotta have that little bit of a teaser. Don't go anywhere. We are going to take, at the top of the hour, we like to take a little 5-minute break. Go refresh your drinks. Take a leak or whatever it is that you might have to do. Grab some snacks. I got garlic bread. Yes, go grab yourself some munchies, crunchies, drinks, and do whatever you got to do. But don't go anywhere because we're continuing our talk about the Fifth Amendment. Yankee, what do you got, brother?
Chat, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you joining us on our little podcast here. We are trying to grow. So if you would hit that thumbs up if you're here and you're enjoying the content. Please, if you're here on Rumble, repost, repost. It helps get eyes on the channel. We would so greatly appreciate it. If you want to share it out on other platforms like X and BoobTubes, we are on the BoobTubes tonight as well. So if you want to share it out there, that would be fantastic. We would love it and appreciate it. If you are on Pilled, if you throw us a red pill and repill us, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. We want to get more eyes on our little channel. Episode 55, we're still fledglings, but yet we are darn close to that 200 follower mark. So thank you all very much for joining us on the regular basis that you do.
Yes, and Jade, roar. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Thank you for watching Beyond the Noise, a subsidiary of SOAR Network. We're live every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To ensure you don't miss the show, make sure you follow the channel and share it with anyone you think might benefit from our work. You can find Yankee every Friday night on his Living Yankee Free channel for bourbon and beer for some irreverent fun with Friend. Or drop by his music channel, Patriot Jams, for good tunes to get you through your day. Better yet, follow his main channel, Yankee Free, for all alerts for any of his content. You can follow RS on his main Rumble channel, Republic Sentinel, for alerts for all of his shows, and TRS News for an alternative take on the news. If you have specific questions for our guests or the hosts that you would like to be read on the show, you can drop a Rumble rant. You can support the channel by simply hitting the follow button. And if you feel so inclined, become a paid subscriber. Thank you for watching Beyond the Noise, a subsidiary of SOAR Network. We're live every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To ensure you don't miss the show, make sure you follow the channel and share it with anyone you think might benefit from our work. You can find Yankee every Friday night on his Living Yankee Free. This hour of Beyond the Noise is brought to you by 1775 Coffee. Still haven't tried 1775 coffee? I have. It was magnificent and mold-free, but we'll get to that. Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold, dark roast that hits hard, the smooth, medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom Coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. I will say, great caffeine, and yeah, no crash. Very, very good. Single origin, small batch, toxin-free, and mold-free. Don't forget about that mold, because I didn't see any mold in that coffee. And I didn't taste any mold in that coffee. It was very, very good, too, by the way. A little bit of honey. Perfect. A gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions, which we don't want to do ever. And a black 1775 tumbler. $170 worth of coffee and gear. Yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. I can tell you right now, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does. 1775coffee.com/rumble to get yours today. Now, back to the Fifth Amendment.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Oh, I love doing ads.
All right. I love doing them. It's fantastic.
Me too. It's a good time.
I don't know. It's fun. I enjoy them.
Me too. You got to make it fun. You got to have a good time with it. And that's why we both have talked about this. The ads that say, have fun with it. Do whatever you want. Not the ones that tell you do not vary from the script. No, screw you.
But they took away all my Caddis ones. I love the Caddis one.
I noticed there's not much of anything in there right now.
No. I know. I mean, I love the 1775, and we do have 1775 on the way, so I will be able to speak to it personally. We finally did do that. But I'm still going to go get a Caddis cooler. I'm definitely getting that cooler, but they took the ad away, and I wanted to get it so I could actually have it and talk about it. But
yeah, like have it sitting there and display it.
Hopefully it'll come back.
I hope so, because there's not a ton of ads at the moment. Some of them I've never seen before. Mm-hmm. Grass-fed beef liver and anyway.
I didn't even see that one. What the hell? I didn't even see that.
Sacred Human.
Oh yeah, I got that. Yeah, you need 100 viewers for that one.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, step it up so we can do that one.
Oh, I want
Start
the 500. Caffia.
Start sharing it out.
Yeah. Let's get 500 in here. Just so that we can read that Caffia.
Well, apparently, according to some creators, maybe even, affiliates or whatever they're called, we just need to do better, and we might get, we might get featured one of these nights,
Right.
If we do better. We just need to do better.
Yeah, but you don't need to get highlighted to gain viewers. It's
no,
to get
it's
10,000.
not even that big of a deal. It's not even that big of a deal to get featured. It's not a big deal. Nah.
No, who needs that?
Not a big deal. Just do better.
We will do better. Speaking of doing better, we are going to cover the Fifth Amendment harder, including the next part, which I teased at the just before the break. Let's talk about eminent domain, shall we? Part of the Fifth Amendment says that you cannot have property taken to you. Let's say it properly here. Nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation, which is eminent domain.
What is just compensation?
Well, right. Who determines just compensation?
What does that mean?
Well, I think that does it not come down to a judge? Let's look into just compensation. How about that? Because there have been a lot of people that have been screwed over by that.
Basically means whatever the fuck they tell you they're going to give you.
Exactly.
That's what it means. They are the portrayers of what is just and what is not. No matter how crooked they are the ones that they're telling you what is just.
Okay, so eminent domain, if anybody doesn't know what that is the government's power to take private property for public use with just compensation, but it provokes strong arguments both for and against it. Arguments for: enables construction of critical infrastructure such as highways, schools, and public transportation, serving the greater public good. The greater good.
Greater good.
And allowing community development.
What do you call the greater good? You call that
communist
gobbledygook.
Yes, that was
communist gobbledygook.
Hey, when somebody tells you it's for the greater good, it's usually not. It's for their good. That was Norm Macdonald. So that sounds like a bunch of commie gobbledygook. That's where that came from. But allowing community development that might otherwise be blocked by a single holdout property owner. Helps implement public projects efficiently. Yeah, the government and efficiency. Two words that never go together.
Did they actually put those two words in the same sentence?
Yes. Helps implement public projects efficiently by avoiding lengthy and difficult negotiations with multiple property owners. No, if that's your property, you should be able to say, yeah, no, I'm not selling. Make me. And that's just it. Eminent domain, I think, is garbage. They should be able to give you whatever you want. It's your property. But that goes into property rights, right? That goes right back to the whole idea that you don't own that property ever. That's how they can charge property taxes, because it's the property of the American people. That's why they can charge you taxes on it. Mm-hmm. But can revitalize blighted or underutilized areas so they can determine, let's say, I don't clean up my backyard. So that means that they can come in and say, hey, you know what? You don't take care of your backyard anyway. We're just, public domain. We're going to take it and turn it into a park for kids. Hey, listen, I love kids, but go fuck yourself. You can't have it. It's my property. Includes constitutional requirements.
But it's not.
No, it's not. According, and like you said, what is this just compensation? What some judge decides is, oh yeah, that's enough. $10 for their backyard. Yeah, that's good enough. I mean, there are people, granted, listen, I love it. I actually love it when you see like that house that's in the middle of where a highway is and they have to go around it. I love it. That's good stuff, man. Oddly enough, you find that in China a bunch, like where there's this highway going and there's this house right in the middle because the person decided, nope, I'm not giving you my house. You can't take it. And apparently the courts there allow that to be a thing. So there are actual highways in China that do that. In a communist country. Several years ago, a guy owned many acres along the Houston Ship Channel They gave him $1 million for it, but it was industrially worth $100 million. He sued, obviously. Did he win? Jade Dragon? Tax value. Yeah. No, the government has to pay fair market value per court ruling. Dagnar, I don't mean to be contrarian here. Yes, I'm sure, but who determines what fair market value is? Because, listen, if I go on to one of these real estate apps and look at my house is worth a hell of a lot more than I could get for it on the market, according to the app. So who determines what fair market value is? You believe he got more, but not sure what the final figure was. Hey, look, $10 million is a lot of money. But if it's worth $100 million, I'd hold out for the $100 million for sure. But you're not okay. So let's get into.
But then you're going to pay how much in lawyers' fees? You may get if you hold out for the $100 million. If you get the $10 million, but then you try and hold out for the $100 million, and ends up being you get to $80 million, but you paid $50 million in lawyers' fees, in lawyers and courts fees. Then what? Then what was the purpose?
Just to be a thorn in the government's side, drag it out, and make them have to wait.
No, I do get that. But as far as compensation goes, or if we're talking about compensation, if we're talking about just compensation, then part of that compensation is my time and my anguish. And you know that obviously would go on for years, and 100%. It would be a thorn in your side for years, and you'd have to deal with it. Well, then you should get extra compensation for that bullshit. But no, it's not just compensation. It's what they want to give you, and that's all you're going to get.
Yeah, I know, Dagnar. I was just playing devil's advocate for the most part. It's like, who determines that is just the issue. We reverse the flow and meaning of sovereign government from what was once bottom-up self-governance to larger but simpler systems we choose to become subjugated. I don't know how much choice there is there, but the subject highway is coming. Put some landmines out in your property and ask them how frisky they're. Yes, I love it.
Well said, Fred.
That was what I was going to say, Dagnar. I would include it in anything that I was going to do. I'd be like, oh, and by the way, the government is paying all the lawyers' fees. That would be part of the compensation package. I'm asking for $80 million, and you're going to pay for my lawyer as well, because I shouldn't have to do this. Fair market value is $100 million. You're undercutting me. You're giving me 10%. Screw you. I want fair market value at $100 million. And because you're making me bring you to court, you're going to pay all the lawyers' fees as well, on top of the $100 million that you're giving me. So that's what I would try and do.
Yeah, let me know how that works out for you.
Oh, I know. I don't want to take on the federal government.
Let me know how that works out for you.
Hey, listen, eminent domain.
They have unlimited fake money. We have limited fake money. They have unlimited fake money.
Yes. I don't know anybody who'll give you a loan nowadays. They'll just give it to you for 16%. But no, eminent domain. They just went through and redid all of our water pipes and stuff out in the road. And, you own this property, right? Again, own, air quotes there. But there's that certain part, so many feet at the front of your property that is not your property. Like
it's the right of way.
Yeah.
It's the right of way.
I mean, the state, the county, whoever could just come along and plant trees there if they wanted to. And you have nothing to say about it.
Absolutely they can. But see, that's not even eminent domain, because that is
right.
From what I do or did for a living. That right of way is the road may be 60 feet wide, but there's only 30 feet of pavement. That means the rest of that it's wider, that's still part of the road. It's not your property.
Yes.
So that doesn't fall under eminent domain because there's a reason that those right of ways are that wide because they reserve the right. That's their right of way. They can do whatever they want, and they can widen that road. They can do whatever they want. So that does not fall under eminent domain, I don't believe, because it's established that way.
Got you. On paper, it's already there.
It's
when
already
you buy the
theirs,
property.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And I got to be honest with you, I'm not a stickler for any of that anyway. If they want to do something, widen the roads, I'm probably all in favor of it anyway. It's too freaking narrow anyway. People parking out in the streets, and it's like driving like this. And I'm in a big truck, and it's just like, okay, if I hit your side mirror, you're just gonna. I have done that before, by the way. Somebody was parked on the side, had a big F-350, and I was driving by. And all of a sudden, I hear a pop. I'm like, what in the fuck? I got home, and my mirror was popped out. I just popped it back in, but I hit somebody else's side mirror.
Yeah, Jade, that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about easements being created. We're talking about what he was talking about is the right of way of the road.
Right.
If it's a 60-foot right of way, and you'll see it on the tax maps and the filed maps, that it's a 60-foot right of way. There may only be 30 feet between curb to curb. That means the rest of that is on either side, is behind the curb, and they have the right of way in that.
Yes, and it is. It's like right there when you get the blueprints of your property, it will say how much of that property is, I mean, technically not yours. It says it right there. I had to do it to determine my borders on the sides of my houses. So, but again, I have a serious problem. Well, the problems I have with eminent domain and this idea that the government cannot take your property without just, I can drive better than you can, KD. Without just compensation, it's like you said, and like people in the chat have pointed out, what is just compensation? And then you're expected to mow it, though, or the city will send you letters. Oh, the city will come by and mow it and then send you a bill. This is true.
You are expected to maintain it, depending on where you are, though. I've surveyed places where the right of way is at the back of the curb because it's only a 33-foot right of way and there's 30 foot of pavement, so there's a foot and a half behind the curb, and that's all there is. I've also surveyed in places where it's 100-foot right of way. And there's only 30 foot of pavement. So yes, no joke. Like it's a paper road. It was supposed to be a 100-foot wide right of way, but they only put a 30-foot road. All of that property is the right of way of the town or the state or whatever. If it's a state highway, county, or whatever it is, you are expected to maintain it.
Yes.
But it's not yours. But you're also not paying taxes on it either. You only pay taxes on the size of your property, which does not include the right of way.
Which goes up every single fucking year. So,
right.
Regardless of whether or not your property is actually gone up in value.
Fred the Gambler and I were having a conversation about this today. How, you know what? Property taxes and income taxes, both theft.
Both
without a doubt,
total theft. When did income tax come in?
Theft.
Was it?
It was. It came in twice. I think Lincoln brought it in first.
Yes.
I think
we
Lincoln
have talked
was
about this before.
Yes, Lincoln was the first. Then it went away and came back. I'm not sure when it came back.
Was it it was an amendment to the Constitution, was it not? Permanent nationwide federal income tax was officially implemented in 1913 after the ratification of the 16th Amendment, and the passage of the Revenue Act of 1913. Earlier Civil War era income taxes existed from 1861 and 1872, but they were temporary and later repealed. One of the only things in federal government history that was ever implemented and then fucking repealed. There was a bunch of things that were implemented during World War II. Am I wrong? That were supposed to be temporary and never went away. Right? Wasn't Medicare and Social Security and all that shit supposed to be temporary but ended up becoming permanent? Tax
Exactly, Jade.
Yeah, well, there's Eisenhower speaking to the military-industrial complex, right?
Mm-hmm. And that is exactly the reason why there's always going to be a war. There's always going to be a war.
Hell, a lot of these companies, these big military contractors could just cry that, oh, we're going to go out of business if we aren't at war. Find another. I'm not here to argue whether or not Medicare and Social Security is bad, but it was supposed to be temporary, and it was made permanent. I have a nuanced view on both.
Just in I believe that was brought up just in contradiction to say that income tax was implemented and then repealed. Whereas there were other things that were supposed to be temporary that were implemented and never repealed.
Yeah, I mean, Comet is so good. Why don't we ask Perplexity? What?
You look quite perplexed.
I am. I'm going to feed my perplexity.
Apparently, he hates his keyboard, too. He just beats the shit out of that thing. Look at him. He doesn't even have to look at it. You bastard.
Stop. Several major federal laws or provisions were sold as temporary or emergency measures, but were later extended repeatedly or made effectively permanent through reauthorization, codification, or replacement statutes. Civil War income tax, temporary excise tax from the Revenue Act of 1932. Congress adopted multiple short-term excise taxes during the Depression, including a federal gasoline tax. That never went away. Those levies were repeatedly said. U.S. Patriot Act. There's another one that should not exist, that violates all kinds of constitutional provisions that, oh my God. And all these people have run on, we're going to repeal the Patriot Act, and they never do. Ooh, the Chinese Exclusionary Act has been renewed and extended. Wow. Crisis-driven security powers. Pilot or experimental social programs such as food stamps, Social Security. Look, they were popular as well. Let's just be clear, these were popular acts. So that's why when they get extended, I wouldn't have a problem with Social Security if it wasn't bankrupt, because the federal government decides all the time to just spend it. Oh no, it's fine. It'll be there. We'll just tax some more. What's this? Congress. Yes, we are on many lists since the Patriot came into being. Yes, agreed. Yankee and I talk about that all the time. We are most certainly. Oh, yes, the Department of Education. But is that not done now, or it's real close to being done?
I don't think so.
Did it take. It's limited on overtime. I'm gonna find out at the end of the year. So I've got a lot of OT under my belt, but we'll find out. I don't think it should be taxed at all. Period.
They're not. It's not that you're not going to be taxed on it. It's a tax deduction at the end of the year. You will be taxed on it, and trust me.
It's only like 10 grand.
It's not going to be what it is. We all want it to be. No tax on tips and no tax on overtime is going to be nothing that any of us want it to be.
Nope.
Because it's not no tax on tips and it's not no tax on overtime. It's a tax deduction to a certain amount for certain people that make a certain amount of money. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. It was talking points for a fucking election for running for office. It was talking points is all it was. Sounds great. Woohoo! But it is bullshit.
Right. No tax on Social Security. That is true, which is ridiculous. Never should have existed in the first fucking place. But, and I agree, Jay Dragon, SS should be voluntary and it should be making money. Why not a 401k? I mean, why is it that this money just gets used for other stuff? It's like a bank. You throw your money in the bank. They don't have your money. They've used it for other things. If you go and try and pull $10,000 out of the bank, it's going to be very hard to get that $10,000 because they don't have that $10,000. They've loaned it to somebody or another bank. A lot of times they loan it to other banks. Right. I don't have a problem with it, but everybody keeps telling me that by the time I retire, there's not going to be any money left. Or I'm going to have to take way less, like 2/3 or something like that.
How long have they been saying that?
Well, eventually it's going to come to pass. Actually, eventually, probably the entire economy is going to collapse. I mean, you can't have inflation like this and print this much money without it just like going, yeah, you need a wheelbarrow to come down here and buy a loaf of bread.
Yeah, me either, Fire Paul.
Good night,
Miss
Duct
Fire
Tape.
Paul. I am definitely going. People
Me
talk
too.
about retirement. What is that? I'm not planning for retirement. Like, well, what is your retirement plan? I don't have a retirement plan because I don't ever see myself fucking retire. I see myself retiring when I literally can't walk anymore and I'm in a hospital bed. That's when I'm retiring.
I've said the same thing. And you know what? I got to be honest with you. I don't want to retire. What I've seen this with people. Look, I'm in a union. I do have a 401k. I do not have a pension. But all these people that I've seen that retire, most of it, I think the statistics are out there. Like you get 5 years and then you're dead. I'm not going to retire because then I'll just sit around and get fat and do fucking nothing. I'll end up dying of a heart attack. I'll eat myself to death. We're eating all your pretzel bites. Yankee, what are you doing? That's it. Call the stream. Yeah. Pretzel bites. I love pretzel bites.
KD and Fred are upstairs eating all my pretzel crack. It's the pretzel with the peanut butter in them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good.
I call it pretzel crack. Yeah, there's a whole big tub of it. And between Fred and KD, I might get one by the time I get the fuck upstairs.
Dagnar, I'm medically retired, but I'm still working my forge to make money. Oh, yeah, right. SSDI doesn't cover everything. Well, so SS doesn't cover shit. What am I going to do with $1,500 a month? Better make sure that I own my house by the time I retire. But then, will that $1,500 even cover the damn taxes that I got to pay on the property?
That you don't own.
Right. I'm telling you, there needs to be a movement in this country to get rid of all this shit. These things never should have happened. Pretzel crack, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll be next to you. Well, I'll be 95 with a walker telling people to get out of my way. Absolutely right. No, I don't want to retire. And that's the thing. You know what? Yankee and I are doing this show so that we can do this for a long, long time. And maybe eke out a little bit of money doing it someday. But what is in Ohio, Greg? What was? I'm sorry, I've already gone off on some kind of other tangent.
We've been through so many different things, including pretzel crack, Greg. At this point in time, we have no idea what you're talking about.
Hey, and that pretzel, that's eminent domain, motherfuckers.
That's eminent domain.
and guess who the government is in that house? Yankee.
No. No, don't get that wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry, DA1.
There you go.
Then
don't
Yankee.
Get that wrong. Yeah.
Yankee is vice president. Oh, to eliminate property taxes?
Well, isn't Florida
Florida
doing that too?
But
Isn't Florida trying to do that?
That's real iffy too. It's funny how they like talk about this shit and then it goes
Never
away
happened.
quick.
Just like not changing the fucking clocks anymore. They talk about it. They talk about it all the time and then don't do anything.
In this state, supposedly they've passed that law twice and it's never gone into effect.
Right.
And they go back and forth on which one it is that they want to keep. Standard time, daylight saving time.
Well done, KD. Well done.
You better watch out for some double jeopardy on them pretzels, buddy.
Mm-mm.
That means you were hiding something, dude. He is, and it's in his stomach.
Yeah.
He's hiding it in his gut.
I know exactly how many pieces of pretzel crack were in that tub. So when I come upstairs, I'm going to know how much to charge y'all in taxes.
Hell yes.
On each pretzel bite, for sure.
Let me double check on that, J-Dragon. I think we're at 6%.
Oh, J-Dragon, we don't even want to talk about property taxes. No, that's...
Um, 2.61, which is notably higher than the national average of 1.02%, slightly above the Illinois state median rate of 2.35. That's in the county that I'm in. I'm sure you can figure out what county that is just by putting that into your computer. For a median valued home in the area, this generally results in an annual property tax of around $3,869. And I think that I'm right around that. If it crosses 4,000, I'm going to be really, really, really pissed off. I'm already pissed off. I think that property taxes are unconstitutional. We've already been through this.
Jersey says New Jersey's average effective property tax rate is a little over 2% of a property's assessed value, making it the highest in the country. Most recent statewide estimates put New Jersey's effective property tax at about 2.2% of home value, meaning a $400,000 home would face roughly $8,800 to $9,000 per year in property taxes on average.
Okay, but the Illinois state median rate is 2.35%. So that's higher than New Jersey.
I was perplexed. So I perplexity'd it, and that's what it's telling me.
Oh, well, shit. There's a town in the general vicinity that's up to 3.2%. And then there's one that's south of us that's at 1.7%. So it does depend on your county.
Yep. Exact percentage you pay depends on your municipality and county. Since local tax rates vary widely, from under 1% in a few shore or rural towns to more than 3.5% in some higher tax communities. To get your precise rate, well, I'll tell you this. The house next to me is on the market right now for $500,000.
Yeah, no, my house is not. My house is half that, less than half of that.
The house next to me is on the market for $500,000 right now, and I can tell you I'm paying about $9,000 in taxes right now.
No, I got about 1,000 square foot home. Now, granted, that doesn't count the basement. That's almost fully done. It's 2/3 fully done, but you can't count that. You can count that, but I don't have like that exit that you got to have, right? You got to have an exit from the basement, whatever, for it to count. But yeah, 1,000 square foot, I'm paying $3,600, something like that. Now that's the house. I think I'm on a 1/4 acre of land. What's up, Cass Ass, Moonlight Rider? I saw. Good thing I like working. My property taxes tripled in the past 5 years. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awful. $9,000.
And it just went up. So I don't even know what that was last year. I don't even know what this year, because I think it just went up. I forget how much they said it went up, but it went up. So it's going to be more than that this year. So
it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
It is. It's disgusting because 50% of our taxes go to the school districts, and all of our school district just cut so many things because they have no money. But yet 50% of my taxes go to the schools. Where the fuck is the money going?
Same here. They cut all kinds of stuff, except we did rally to get a bunch of stuff back. But now they're building a brand new high school that's going to cost $10 million, I think, something like that. Just got approved. It was on the last ballot, and it got overwhelmingly approved. So our local taxes will rise starting next year.
Yep.
Look, I get it that when you need a new high school, yes, we do.
So they wouldn't be taking the property to build that high school via eminent domain, would they?
That's a great question. I don't know where they're building it yet. All I know is that the taxpayers did approve for it to go forward. And again, I get it. The high school is so old that it doesn't even have air conditioning in it and all that other shit. So I get it. Yes, it's fine. I hate it. I hate taxes.
Me too.
Tax the local businesses.
They are theft. It is without a doubt 100% theft.
Income tax is most certainly theft. But yeah, we never did go to the chat at the bottom of the hour.
I believe property taxes too.
Yes,
what
me
happened
too.
to the right? What happened to property, owning land and it being yours? Like,
yep,
it's
agreed.
not a thing. It's not a thing. You don't own shit.
Right. I agree 100%.
Go ahead and don't pay your property taxes. See what the fuck happens. You don't own anything. You don't own anything.
No, they'll take your property. They will absolutely take your property. They'll put a lien on your property.
Doesn't matter how long you've been there. Doesn't matter how much you've paid. Doesn't matter how long you've paid it. You miss your taxes. You miss 1/4 of your taxes. They will put you up for tax sale, and your property in your house gone.
Mm-hmm.
They will take it from you. You don't own anything.
J Dragon, schools here like spending millions on football stadiums instead of education. In my opinion, high schools are only good for sports. They're not good for education for shit. My son learned more by looking shit up himself. He taught himself 3 fucking languages. The high school didn't do that. Screw high school. High school is a joke. It should be like skills training for jobs. You should be going there to learn how to do like construction work and wiring.
To be an
and
adult.
Yeah.
You should be going to school and learning adulting.
Yes.
And they're not learning adulting.
No, they're learning memorization. We talked about this before on
Teach to the
this
test.
show.
Teach to the test.
Well, yeah, it came out of Prussia, right? It was out of that Prussian, that one guy who said that and we need industrial workers. So in order to do so, we need to get them used to a schedule. When the bell rings, you do this. When you sit down, you pay attention to one person. That is the educator that's there. That is your boss. You pay attention to that boss. And then when the bell rings, you go on to do it teaches you all the industrialization of workers. Mm-hmm. It's not about education. Hasn't been about education for a long time. That's why some people really excel at following orders and others don't. Shop class, in my opinion, that's all high school should be, is shit like shop class.
It should be very more specialized.
Yeah.
And I always said this when I was in school, and that's not just because I didn't want to do the fucking homework, but
me either.
I always felt, why do I have to take this dumb class? I don't care about this class. This isn't what I'm interested in. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to excel in this. This isn't going to do anything to further my future. I'm not going to do anything with this. I don't care about it.
Right.
And you're made to take it, and just for that, to fall in line, do what you're supposed to do, and that's it. It has nothing. I think high school should be elementary school, middle school, general education, yes. When you get to the high school level, it should be specialized. What you are interested in, what you excel at, that is the course you should go from high school on.
Okay, a bunch of things to address here. First of all, Moonlight. Yeah, we have a guy who's 73, still working at the plant, and he still owes on his house, so he's not retiring anytime soon. Homework should never have been a thing. Absolutely. That's just more like teaching you how to bring your work home. Fuck off. What was the other one? Gina, Greg Ohio says Gina has her kid in that kind of school. Sounds awesome. Listen, did you know that in the UK, they only go to high school till they're 16? Then they go and they work, or they go to university. I don't think you should be going to high school at all. I'm with Yankee, maybe through 8th grade. You learn basic math, basic reading, basic writing, that kind of bullshit. Then when you get to about 13, 14, that's exact our education system at work, KD. Once you hit that 13, 14-year-old mark, that's when you should be learning skills. And by the time you're 16, you should be earning a living for yourself. Still under your parents' roof.
Yeah, it's and even now the scam that college is, it's the same thing. You still have to take, even though college is supposed to be more specialized, you're supposed to go for a major and get a degree in that major. You still have to take bullshit classes.
Yeah.
You still have to spend the money to take these bullshit classes that have nothing to do with your major.
Right. That's right.
No, like that. I have a huge problem with all of it.
It's programming. Got to get the programming in there. How else would they get you to buy into LGBTQ plus? I'm sorry. Did they got rid of the Q, right? There's math trickery to prove that 1 equals 2. All right. None of that bullshit here. What was it? Who was it that was saying that? It was, that black dude that has that crazy out there physics shit. It is fun to listen to his shit, but he was the one who was doing something like 1 times 1 is actually 2. This Common Core BS. Yeah. Common Core's stupid. The idea that somebody could come out of high school and still not know how to read or write, and there are plenty of those.
It's just memorize this, pass the test, and you move on. You didn't learn anything. You didn't learn anything to better yourself.
I love that you're talking about this. It's so important. Yeah, we're supposed to be talking about the Fifth Amendment.
Well, now, but we are in the last 15 minutes, which is well past chat time. So this is what we're talking about.
Agreed. But hey, what they should be teaching you about if you're going to be going to any kind of extended school like high school or something like that, they should at least be talking about eminent domain. You should be learning about the Fifth Amendment, the First Amendment, the 10th Amendment, the 16th Amendment, all these different amendments that we're going to talk about on this show that we've already started. These are things that should have been discussed. And how often have we put up a poll in the chat where we've asked if people knew anything about the amendment? Most people said I knew of it, but yeah, a little about it.
Somewhat of it.
But
and welcome, Musically Medicated. That's a new name, by the way. Thank you
yes,
very much
for
being
poking.
here. Appreciate you.
I was poking Musically Medicated. I was just poking. We like talking about all this stuff, and a lot of our shows end up going to this. Hell, I can't tell you how many times our shows have devolved into conversations about AI.
But that's what we do. We have a topic. Mondays are Know Your Rights.
Yes.
Mondays are Know Your Rights. Right now, we say Mondays for right now, but it may not be always Mondays. It depends on how our schedules go. But one of our shows a week will definitely be Know Your Rights, and we're trying to cover all of the amendments in the bill, and we're trying to cover all of the Bill of Rights. One day a week is completely this. Whatever you want to talk about, chat, it is completely all about chat. It is you. You are driving the show. You give us the topics. We'll bring stuff to talk about as well, but it's all about you, chat. Every half hour of every show is all about you as well, chat. Yes. And then we will have one longer show, could be longer show a week, where we'll have a guest on. We pick one topic, we talk about it, and we will beat whatever horse it is.
Yes.
Dead or not.
We've had nothing but magnificent guests too. We've had such great guests on this show. And then and usually that ends up being Saturday. This past Saturday didn't have a show because I worked at 12 this past Saturday. And then Yankee's got a new job. My job is going to switch back to 12 soon, and then I'm going to have to. It's going to be real. All of it's going to be touch and go, unfortunately, because of life.
So do exactly what it was probably Liz, or was it Miss Fireball? No, it was Miss Firepaw. Miss Firepaw dropped the Discord link. Definitely, if you are on Discord, follow our Discord, because like Aris just said, our schedule inevitably will be changing. Right now, we are Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Inevitably, it will be changing because of our lives. So definitely, if you are on Discord, please follow our Discord. There is a channel in there for our schedule specifically, because it's going to change, and we will update it there. There is a Google Calendar that you can follow and subscribe to, and get that so you can see when the shows are going to be. But yeah, if you're on Discord, please follow our Discord.
Yeah, join in. Musically Medicated says that they're there. Awesome. Please be there. Please come and check it out. We don't interact enough with our Discord because both of us live crazy lives, but we try. And then there are just wonderful people in our Discord too. So hopefully it grows at some point.
Dude likes to be behind.
He says that he's behind, Yankee. What is he?
Dude normally
back
is
there?
Behind. Dude normally is way behind. We have to try and catch him up. He's
lift your arms up. I want to see. He's behind you? Where?
No, he's not right now. Not right
Damn
now.
it! Yeah, that's false advertising, KD.
He's actually upstairs right now.
No, Moonlight Rider. No, I'm sorry. No, I haven't looked into any of it. That was what, Wednesday? I have not. I've worked the last 9 days straight, and I will be off Thursday, maybe.
I know that a lot of you are not fans of the platform that we are using right now to support our friend and our brother, our family member, Ashaelon. But if you are interested and you would like to help out Ashaelon and his family in their time of grieving and their time of need, you will see in the description of this video and everything we've done so far, there is a link to a GoFundMe for Ashaelon and his family. If you would consider, anything helps. Everything will absolutely help. Going and supporting him and his family in his incredible time of need. Just absolutely devastating what they've been through.
Horrifying.
So it is in the link is in the description. I know we are looking at other options, but right now it is the GoFundMe. So the link is in the description below.
Yes, but we will try and get some other options out there. I know I understand, but it's what we've got for right now is the GoFundMe.
Right.
Okay, so I feel like it was a successful hashing of the Fifth Amendment for the most part. We covered most aspects of it, even though there's still so much gray area in the Fifth Amendment. Just one of the most loosely written amendments, in my opinion, that we've covered thus far. Just wait, it gets better. Oh, does it get better? Wait till we get to the one that's been annulled. That neither Yankee or I partake of whatsoever at any point in our lives.
Nope. Definitely not last night or tonight or
tomorrow morning when I get home
or
from
Fridays,
work.
Or Fridays when I do my show called Bourbon
and Beer?
I would never. No.
Come on.
Stop it.
Stop.
Stop it.
Yeah, Ash is great people, Fred. Jade. Lies, Firepaw. Well, that's you know. You're there for every show, so you know. All right, that is it. Top of the hour. We are going to go bye-bye because I have to go to work in about 10 minutes. So that was our coverage of the Fifth Amendment. Hopefully next Monday we will be here for the Sixth Amendment, and I hope that you will join us. If you are new here, please hit that follow, hit that like, repost on Rumble because it really helps us out to get the information out to the people that follow you. Also, Yankee has his own channel, Yankee Free. Follow that channel for Bourbon and Beer every Friday night and plenty of other wild shows. Last week, he brought up an old video of him doing a live stream with his lovely wife on vaping and stuff like that. That was classic, good stuff. But definitely
lots
go
of good
give,
laughs. There were lots of good laughs there.
definitely go follow Yankee's channel for that. And follow me if you would be so kind. I have been playing a lot of Arc Raiders lately, even though I haven't streamed in well over a week. But I will. Hopefully, I'm going to be off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There will be streams, and Arc Raiders is on the agenda for sure, and maybe something else. Who knows? But please follow my channel for that. And sometimes I do news streams. Sometimes I do music streams. We've messed around with AI music, all kinds of fun stuff. So come check us out on our individual channels. We will be back hopefully on Wednesday for a what the fuck, chat?
What the fuck, chat?
You tell us what you want to talk about, and we sit here and entertain you like the monkeys that we are, and we also bring some to the table to just start the discussion as well. Yankee, are we going to raid?
We are. We are all set up. We are actually tonight. Before I tell you where we're going, I'll make it quick because I know Mr. RS has to go. When we send you to someone, when we raid out to someone, we're sending you to someone that we believe in, that we like, that we think you will appreciate. So we would hope that all of you go there with the gusto that you are here with. And the free things we ask you to do, the liking, the reposting, the sharing, and the commenting below. Please do that for those that we raid to. And tonight we are raiding to the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast.
Awesome.
I do like them. They are a great group of guys. I think it's only 2 tonight, but they usually have some more on panel sometimes. So that's where we're sending you on Rumble tonight. And over on Pilled, we are sending you to Handy News. Two very great content creators that we are very fond of. So please, when you get there, please show them the love. The likes, the shares, the reposts, the red pills, the repilled, all those wonderful things. Please do them for them just as you do for us.
Yes. Handy News, special. Love Handy News. Absolutely love them. So with that, we are going to leave you till Wednesday. Hopefully Wednesday we will be back. Until next time, we bid you adieu. Peace
Good night,
out,
everybody.
Thank you for watching Beyond the Noise, a subsidiary of SOAR Network. We're live every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To ensure you don't miss the show, make sure you follow the channel and share it with anyone you think might benefit from our work. You can find Yankee every Friday night on his Living Yankee Free channel for bourbon and beer for some irreverent fun with friends. Or drop by his music channel, Patriot Jams, for good tunes to get you through your day. Better yet, follow his main channel, Yankee Free, for all alerts for any of his content. You can follow RS on his main Rumble channel, Republic Sentinel, for alerts for all of his shows, and TRS News for an alternative take on the news. If you have specific questions for our guests or the hosts that you would like to be read on the show, you can drop a Rumble rant. You can support the channel by simply hitting the follow button, and if you feel so inclined, become a paid subscriber.